Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, May 1st, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. The office that administers the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, will be relocated to Indianapolis as part of a larger effort to move Department of Agriculture services and staff out of Washington, D.C. The USDA did not respond to questions about how many jobs will shift to Indianapolis, where the office will be located, or when the move will take place. But Governor Mike Braun calls the move a big win for Indiana. The announcement comes more than 8 months after U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins said that Indianapolis was one of 5 cities that would become USDA hubs. More than 150 state and federal law enforcement officers conducted raids in northwest Indiana this week, following a federal grand jury's indictment of 22 individuals on illegal gambling charges. According to a recently unsealed indictment, Northwest Indiana restaurateurs James Gerardimas and Dean Gialamas, owners of Paragon Restaurant and Gino's Steakhouse in Lake County, spearheaded an illegal sports betting business for more than 5 years. A Vincennes-based sauce company is continuing to wrap up accolades for its products, and its owner hopes to turn that success into growth. Lynn Weber's sauce company was founded in 2021 by Chris Lynn Weber and recently earned top honors at the 2026 Scovie Awards. Lynn Weber says he hopes the notoriety will allow him to scale up his business.
There were over 700 products from lots of different countries, so for that to take both of those first places is a huge victory. I started the business in August of 2021, and I started getting awards in 2022, and they just keep increasing, it seems like, year after year.
From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front row access you won't want to miss. The Chicago Bears pitched Hammond as one of 2 possible locations for the team's new stadium during a meeting with a select group of NFL owners this week, but few details about the presentation have become public. The Hammond site, a plat at Wolf Lake Park, was presented to the league stadium committee Wednesday, along with a proposal for Chicago suburb Arlington Heights, Illinois. Multiple media outlets, including ESPN, report the Bears say the 2 sites are the only 2 viable options for the team's new stadium, essentially taking the city of Chicago out of the mix. The House of Representatives on Thursday approved a sweeping overhaul of federal ag policy, passing the Farm, Food, and National Security Act of 2026 in a narrow vote after days of intense negotiations and overnight debate. But prospects in the Senate remain uncertain, where the legislation faces a steeper and more complex path to passage. Indiana Senator Todd Young talked to our partners at Hoosier Ag Today.
I know our farmers have been through promise after promise related to the Farm Bill. Maybe this time will be a little different. I represent a farm state. I never forget it. And I keep hearing they can't do their work without some of these policy certainties being put to bed.
Dan Ross, the president and CEO of Arts United in Fort Wayne, will retire this fall. His departure comes after more than 40 years of working in the city's arts and culture sector. During his tenure at Arts United, he helped lead large-scale fundraising efforts tied to major campus projects, which included the expansion of the Arts United Center and the renovation of the Our Center for Arts and Culture. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Curious about what's shaping law in Indiana? From court reforms and NIL rights to mental health courts and energy commissions, the Indiana Lawyer Podcast breaks down the biggest legal issues of our time. I'm your host, reporter Maura Johnson. Join me every other week for your insider guide to what matters in law and why it impacts you. Subscribe now in your favorite podcast app or at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.